Hey guys, so this will be a tutorial video where I will walk you through the process of building an AI business automation. For this tutorial, I chose a use case that I think is quite common for anyone doing content marketing. The idea here is that we have a database where we store ideas for articles we want to write about. So we have the title and the description of each article. And the goal is to generate the content structure for each article automatically. I personally find this quite useful because I often get stuck when I need to write an article. Like I don't know where to begin, how to break it down into sections. So I think that having this inspiration is very useful. Now, AI is great at generating content structures. So I'll show you how to automate this process and essentially like automatically generate the content structure for each article in your ideas database. Now, for this example, I'm going to be using Airtable as the database for my articles. I'm going to be using OpenAI to generate the content structure. And I'm going to be using make.com to build the automation with no code. So if you want to follow along, go ahead and sign up for an account on each one of these apps, and let's get started. All right, so once you're logged into your Make account, what you want to do is go to the scenarios page here and then create a new scenario. So this is where we're going to be building the automation. Now, I'm going to name this generate content structure for articles. And I'm going to start by adding the first app. Now, as mentioned previously, the goal is to retrieve the records from this table here that do not have a content structure and create a content structure for each one of those records. So what I'm going to do to achieve this is first add the Airtable app. I'm going to search for Airtable, click on the app, and then here are the modules that this app has. Now, in order to retrieve records from Airtable, I need to use this search records module. The first step you need to do is create a connection with your Airtable account. I already have one, but I'm going to create a new one by clicking add. You can do it by copy pasting like a token from your Airtable account, or you can use the OAuth connection type. It's easier to do it this way. So I'm going to say my Airtable as the connection name. This can be anything you want. Save, and this should now create a pop-up. There we go. You would select the base that you want to connect to. In my case, it's called Content Tracker. Grant access, and the connection is now ready to be used. Now, the next thing you want to do is select the base. So this is the base we're going to be getting data from. So Content Tracker is the name of my base. The table is called articles. And here, I don't want to sort. I don't want to select a view. I need to select the output field. So I want to get the title and the description of each record, because these are the values I'm going to be passing to the OpenAI module in a second to generate the content structure. So I need to output these fields when this module is executed. And then for the formula here, the goal is to retrieve only the records that do not have a value in the content structure field. So the formula I'm going to specify to achieve this is not open bracket, open curly bracket, content structure, that's the name of the field, close curly bracket, close bracket, and that's it actually. Yeah, that's the formula. So essentially, retrieve all the records that do not have a content structure value. And then limit, I'm going to say 100 here, just in case I want to do this for a lot of articles. And yeah, that's the first module ready. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to choose run this module only to execute it once so I can make sure it works. And when you click here, you will see the output data. So here's the input. This is what we passed into the API request, and this is the output. So this is what we retrieved from Airtable. So there's 3 bundles, or in other words, 3 records. And for each record, we have the title, the description, the ID, and the created time. So that's all the data I need. Now, the next step is to generate the content structures, right? So we need to connect a new module. I'm going to search for OpenAI. Here's the app. And the module I'm going to be using is called Create a Completion. This is the module that makes it possible to generate text. So once again, you need to create a connection with your OpenAI account. I already have one, but what you need to do is click on Add here, and then you will see the links that you need to follow in order to generate the API key and also get your organization ID. I'm not going to go to this URL because I don't want to share my API keys, but yeah, when you go here, you would see an option to create a new token. You would create that token and then just paste it here. And then when you go to this page, you'll see your organization ID. Just copy it and paste it here, and that will allow you to create a connection. So yeah, that's my that's the first step, creating the connection. And then as the method, you want to select create a chat completion. And then for the model, I'm going to use GPT 3.5 Turbo. For messages, I'm going to add 2 items. The first item will be the system prompt, and the second item will be the user prompt. Now, the reason I want to have both a system and a user prompt is because the system prompt is what will give the system prompt gives instructions to the AI model on what I want it to do with the data that I will provide it as part of the user prompt. So in our case, in this example, the system prompt, the instruction I want to give the AI model is this. I want you to take the title and description of an article and generate the content structure. The content structure. I want you to output the result in a bulleted list. That's the instruction. That's the system prompt. And then the user prompt is where I actually provide the data. So the article title is, right? And we want this to be dynamic, right? We want this to be, the value here needs to change for each article that we're retrieving. And to achieve this, we need to use a process called mapping, data mapping. When you click on a field in Make, you will see on the side here all the data elements that were retrieved on the previous from the previous modules that were executed in your scenario. So the previous module to the OpenAI module is the Airtable module, which retrieved all the records from the table. So here we have available the data elements of each record. So for the for the article title, I want to map the title element right there, and then I want to say the article description is, and I want to map the description data element here. So yeah, that's it. So now this data will be added dynamically into that field, and this module is now ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and now run the entire scenario once, so I can see that it works. So we see here that the 3 articles were retrieved, and then now the OpenAI module is executed for each one of those articles. Perfect. So we have 3 executions, 3 operations. On the first operation, let's take a look at the output here. Choices, first item in the collection, message, content, there it is, right? So that's the generated, content structure. And then let's go to operation number 2, choices, collection, message, content. There is the content structure. You get the idea. That's the same for the third operation. So now the last step is to take the generated content structure and update the Airtable record with it. So we're going to do this by attaching another Airtable module. In this case, it will be the updated record module. That's what we want to do. I'm going to select my Airtable account. Since now I'm doing something else, I need to extend the permissions. So I'm going to click continue. And this should be fairly easy. Oh, okay, again, I need to select the base. So content tracker, grant access. Okay, so I extended the permissions so I can now update the records. I'm going to select the base again. So content tracker, articles. And now I need to map the record ID that I want. I need to map the ID of the record that I need to update. And to do this, I'm going to click on the field and I'm going to select the ID data element from the previous Airtable module. So the search records module. Let me just make this a little bit bigger so you can see. Okay. So if I hover over this data element, you can see that the search record module is flashing. So that's what I want. That's the record that I want to update. Now you might be wondering, well, this retrieves 3 records in this case. How do we know that it's the right record getting updated? The reason we know that is because the way it works in Make is each one of these records creates a bundle. Now, a bundle is essentially like, think of it like a separate execution of all the modules that are after this one. The 3 bundles are retrieved, but then it goes through each one of the bundles. So it will go through bundle 1. It will execute all the modules after the first one. It will then go to bundle 2. It will execute all the modules. And then it will go to bundle 3 and execute all the modules once again. That's how it works, right? So what this means is that every time it gets executed, the value of the record ID here will be the one that is linked to the current bundle, if that makes sense. So we're always going to be updating the correct record. It's a little bit technical, but I hope you get the idea of how this works. So we're mapping the record ID there, and then we want to update inside the record. We want to update the content structure field, right? So we're gonna click on content structure, and here we want to map the output value from the OpenAI module. So we're gonna click on choices here, message, content. There it is. That's the one we want. So we're gonna click on it, and it will get mapped right there. So that's it actually. So now we can click OK. I'm gonna click here to auto align the scenario, make it look a little bit nicer. I'm going to save it, and let's just minimize this. Okay, so now let's take a look at our base. Okay, so we don't have any content structure values. I'm going to click run once. You see, the first bundle is now getting executed. Done. Now the second bundle is getting executed. Takes a while. Done. Third bundle is getting executed. Done. Right? I hope you understand now how the processing works. And now if I go back to Airtable, there we have it. That's the result. So content structure for the first one, content structure for the second one, and content structure for the third one. Now let's go ahead and test what happens when one of them doesn't have a content structure. Based on the formula that I defined on this module here, this one here, it should only retrieve this record, the one that doesn't have a content structure, and the other ones should remain unchanged. So let's try this. So run once, and we will see, there we go. So you can see that only this one got updated. Is it done? Yes, it's done. So it works as expected. Now, so yeah, that's the automation built. Now, you could schedule this so it gets executed at set intervals. So you can say that you want to execute it once a day at a specific time. Or, I mean, you can choose to execute it manually the same way that I did here. So you would just click the run once button whenever you want to, and it will run the automation for you. But yeah, if you want to schedule it, you just select here your scheduling settings, and then you would turn the scenario on. So that's when it will automatically get triggered based on your schedule settings. All right, so there you have it, guys. That's how you can build an AI automation that will generate content structures for your article ideas. If you have any questions or suggestions on how this automation can be improved, or ideas on what you would like to see next, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.